Good afternoon, everyone. It is January 3rd, and a bit of a switch today. I think instead of talking about the sleds, we'll talk about the sledding gear. Um, I've used very cheap gear for a very long time, and this year I have actually upgraded to some way nicer stuff. I've used kind of everything under the sun. You know, so I'll go through kind of what I had and what I'm upgrading to and what works and really what doesn't work. Um, so the first thing, I guess, with the helmets, I've in the past when I was younger, I used basically a motorcycle helmet, and honestly, it worked really well. I could layer up underneath it. There was lots of room, and I didn't have any fogging issues with it. So it was very hard. It was some weird Korean like white motorcycle helmet, and I used it for like 6, 7 years. And it was only had a single lens visor, and it was great, but can't find that helmet anymore. So I did move to a CKX about 5 years ago or 6 years ago, and this is the helmet, the CKX Trans 1.5, and it's a modular, so the front lifts up on it, and it does have the sun visor, the flip down sun visors on it, and it was pretty decent. Like, not too much fogging issues with it. If you, on a really cold day, like forget it, it'll fog up like crazy. If you're not wearing some type of breath deflection, I've found that there is no helmet that has a breath box that actually works correctly, except the Skidoo BVS helmet. That's the only one. And I find that helmet ridiculously uncomfortable and really gross after a full day when you have to wash all that breath box out. It's really disgusting. So I don't like that. So I did wear the CKX. I still wear it for work. The modular is nice because I have to talk to people a lot. So just flipping the helmet up is really convenient that way. The only thing I hate about it is on the bottom, if it's a really cold day and you're breathing, this can frost up on you, and then you can't get the damn thing off. So since I moved to a breath deflection balaclava, that's kind of cured that issue. But you can see it's starting to wear, signs of wear, but it's still a pretty good helmet, and I don't really have too many issues with it. It's served me quite well and will continue to at work. I did upgrade to a G-Max. I think it's a GS11 or a G11S or a GM11S. Anyway, they got weird names for the helmets. But this helmet, I would still consider it like a budget helmet, but it's not modular, so it's just a one-piece helmet. It's convertible for goggles. I never got used to riding with goggles. I don't understand how people like riding with goggles. I think it's like the most uncomfortable, bloody thing ever. And it's a pain in the butt trying to like get the helmet on and off. And anyway, to each their own, I guess. But anyway, I did this one with the heated visor, and this has been a great helmet. One thing is I did remove all the breath box and the chin curtain and everything out of here. I just found it got in the way. And I always run my helmets with the vents open on them. I like to get some airflow through there. What I did do instead is I moved to an FXR. This is a Black Ops breath deflector. And with this helmet is amazing. Most of the time, I don't even need to use the electric shield. It does not fog up at all. And only on really stupid cold days and really long rides do I plug the electric shield in. It's for trail riding, and especially if I'm following people and you're getting all that snow dust, that's kind of the thing that causes most of the fogging. So this is what I'm running now. I do have coming in a FXR, I think it's called a Cold Stop breath deflection balaclava. It's heavier than this, and it's got more neck and like upper shoulder coverage. So I'm looking forward to that. This helmet's been amazing. Do get it with the heated shield. And for the price you pay, I think it was $200. And it's like, I can't really ask for much more. I don't understand. I was looking at a BRP oxygen helmet because everybody was raving about them. But I honestly can't justify paying like $700 or $800 for a bloody helmet that once if the electric shield ever breaks or anything ever affects the electric shield for any reason, you have an $800 helmet that's totally useless. So this one, I don't need the electric shield. It'll run fine without it. So yeah, anyway, I think I'll just stick to decent value helmets for now. Yeah, go from there. Anyway, moving on to the gloves. I've tried a million different types of gloves, and I'm going to tell you right now, these Pro Max gloves are garbage. Don't ever get them. They are horrible. They don't wick moisture away from your hands, so they just get really wet inside, and then they take forever to dry out. And anyway, they're garbage. Whew. Goodbye. I did buy a pair of these Ski-Doo gripper mitts. These are bloody amazing. I love these mitts. They, I wouldn't wear them on like the coldest of rides, so like minus 20 Celsius or lower. These will get cold. They don't have a ton of insulation. They've got, I think, nothing on the palm and 200 and so grams on the top. So they're really quite warm, and the thing is they wick moisture away from your hands, so they're always nice and dry inside. They do fit tight. I have a wide hand, so I had to order like a large is actually what should fit me, but I can't get the cuff over my big wide hand, so I had to get extra large, and they seem to be like just about perfect. So these I wear most of the time, and I have a set of FXR index finger leather mitts coming in for like really cold days, but I always carry these with me no matter what, because like even if my hands get wet in other mitts, I can slam them in there and I'm still pretty good. The next is these mitts that I got like 15 years ago. I don't even know who makes them. I got them for Christmas years and years ago, and they're just a lined like leather mitt, nothing fancy at all. But when push comes to shove, these are what I put on when it gets stupid cold. I put a pair of just really thin gloves on and then put them in those mitts. And honestly, I never get cold after that. Those are the warmest things in the world. So, but the only thing is I need a mitt with a separated finger. I don't like gloves anymore, but I like a mitt with a separated finger just for my brake lever. So these are they suck when you're riding in a pack and you're trying to grab the brake and they can get in the way. But when it's really cold out, they're really good. I always carry them with me as well. And I think I'll probably have these for another 10 years. They seem to be wearing in quite nice. I'm going to move on to boots. So I've used a ton of different type of boots. And this is my first set of actual dedicated snowmobile boots. Now, so I've used like Sorels and general purpose outdoor boots, so they're okay. Like what I used to do when we would go up north to camp is you're only sledding for about 15 to 30 kilometers, and then you're getting off and walking around and doing a bunch of other things. And then you're going in and getting warm and then coming back out. And so your day is broken up. Like you're not just sitting on your sled riding all day. You're doing a whole bunch of other activities. So you don't really notice like the limitations of footwear when you're doing that. But since coming here, and then I'm doing like, 200, 300 kilometer rides where I'm on the sled for 100 kilometers and then you're off the sled for a little bit and then back on it for another 100 kilometers. The limitations of the footwear I've been using have been like quite apparent. So one of them being like wet feet and then cold feet in the day. So I went from some Sorels to like a set of Baffins, which are basically just neoprene rubber boots with a liner in them. And then I used a Bama sock with a technical sock underneath that. And that worked pretty good for a while. Bama socks, for those of you who are not familiar, they look like this. This one, I just took this off so you can see how wet it is on the outside. But on the inside, it's totally dry. So these just pull moisture right out of your foot and to the outside of the sock. And if you've got a boot that is also moisture wicking, it'll help dry the Bama sock out and keep your feet really comfortable. The Baffins are not moisture wicking, so they just get super wet inside. And if you're only a couple hours, then that's fine. Or if you don't have sweaty feet, then you're good to go. Those are a good, cheap way to do it. And plus the Bamas are steel toes. And if you're doing work as well, they're a pretty decent choice. But I have since moved to some Skidoo Tech Plus boots. And all I got to say is, man, I've been missing out for years because I should have invested in a set of snowmobile boots a long time ago. These things are the best boots I have ever had. They are super, super comfy. They are stiff, like you have a lot of ankle and like rear leg shin support in these things, which I really like. But they're moisture wicking. My feet, I don't put any Bama socks or nothing. I just put a set of like thin moisture wicking socks on. And then these boots keep my feet bloody warm and really dry pretty much all day. There's only one time that I've ever had where my feet were wet in these, but they weren't cold. They were just wet and warm. And that was like a full day of ice fishing. And yeah, anyway, but riding, these are the best boots I've ever had. And I can't compare them to any other snowmobile boots because I haven't tried any others. My wife has a set of FXR. I think they're some type of ice boot, and she really loves them as well. And they look quite nice. But these were one of the best investments I think I've made. And I highly recommend the Tech Plus boots. I would say order them a size larger than normal because I have a wide foot, like I have a wide hand. And yeah, I needed the extra width because you want a little bit of room. You don't want them to like completely hug your foot. A little bit of room is nice. So order them a size larger and I think you'll be very happy. Yeah, anyway, really good boots. So going into jackets. So I always, like I said, cheaped out on my gear. I never really wore anything super technical. This Pro Max jacket, unlike the gloves, this jacket isn't too bad. It doesn't moisture wick very well. But I've worn it for some very long rides and honestly, it breaks the wind really well. It's really tough and it was really cheap too. You know, so I still have this jacket. I still wear it for work. This is kind of my getting dirty jacket now that I'll wear when I have, you know, I don't want to ruin my good gear. So that's good. This is from Royal Distributing. It's their kind of house brand. Like I said, the gloves are shit, but the jacket is actually pretty decent for what you pay for it. And it's really comfortable too, and has kind of a lot of half decent features, a lot of storage, a lot of like, it's got the cuffs that grab your thumbs. So when you're putting your gloves on or whatnot, it doesn't like bunch up. And yeah, so it's pretty okay. I don't have too many complaints about it other than if you're sweating like crazy in it, unzip it and definitely like get the moisture out because this thing does not wick moisture very well. These ski pants are just good old Choco Quattros. Again, I'm relegating them to the kind of beater clothes. But I've had these for a couple of years, I think, or 2 years now. And honestly, they're really good. I don't sweat in them. They keep me warm. They're a little bulkier than I'd like, but they're good. Like zippers seem pretty tough in them. I've slid around on my butt and my knees and all kinds of stuff, and they've held up quite well. I don't think they were super expensive. I think they were like $150 or $160. And honestly, can't really complain for that price. They've been really good. I'm still going to keep them and use them. Yeah, so Choco makes pretty decent jackets too, Choco Designs. So yeah, I can't really say anything bad about them other than they're just lacking features that a more high-end jacket would want. Oh, sorry, high-end pants. The jacket does have float aid in it too. That was kind of what drew me to choosing that jacket. So my wife bought me a very nice FXR fuel jacket for my anniversary. Let's get that gross Bama sock off there. Yeah, I've tested this out for like 3 rides now, and I really love this jacket. It fits snugger than the Pro Max. It's got a pretty like I guess, athletic cut to it where it really hugs your body. But it is really comfortable. It does wick moisture away, so you feel really dry in it. You have a lot of mobility. Like, the jacket has just a lot of mobility. Allows you to move around like crazy. It's really nice. It doesn't constrict you at all. I don't know, the material's super nice. We did use the FXR. They have a silicone like water treatment spray, and I did do that to this jacket. It also has the FAST system where you, it's like a float aid, keeps you buoyant for 2 hours. And then when you stand up out of the water, it all drains and still keeps you warm, even though you're soaking wet. So that's nice, especially for, ice fishing in the early and late season. Although I'm very conservative and don't tend to venture on the ice unless there's at least 5 inches, just for walking, and at least 8 for a sled. So anyway, don't have too much to say about this. It's just a really good jacket. For the price, it's probably one of the best, the jacket with the best features. And I'm super impressed with how comfortable it is. And yeah, this is going to be my good snowmobiling jacket that I'm going to wear for only sledding right now. And I just ordered the matching fuel pants for this jacket. So they're not in yet. They're coming with the gloves and the heavier balaclava. So I'm going to, wear those. And I'm pretty happy with them. So I'll maybe do a video on the pants when they come in. But yeah, very, very excited to get some new gear. Like I said, I have been definitely missing out with, not buying sledding specific things, and, moving from doing shorter rides and more varied activities to doing more dedicated, longer rides has definitely shone a light on all the limitations of the stuff that I had been using. So, so anyway, if you're interested, that's what I'm using. That's why I'm using the stuff I'm using. And don't buy Pro Max gloves. They're garbage. That's all I can have to say. And if you can find a pair of these things, buy them and have them just for an emergency. They're just wicked warm, and they've saved me from having major discomfort many times. That's about it. Video's going on almost 20 or almost 18 minutes now, so I'll end it there. And everybody, hope you're having a great new year, and we'll see you out on the trails.